Hi friends, this is Abhishek Shandilya. Today in this video we are going to discuss Eastern Economic Forum. So in this video we will discuss what is Eastern Economic Forum, what is the significance of Eastern Economic Forum, and how Eastern Economic Forum can act as a platform for Indo-Russian cooperation. And then we'll end with a conclusion. So, Eastern Economic Forum was started by Russia in the year 2015 as part of its Pivot to Asia strategy, which basically involved inviting countries, primarily Asian countries, to come and invest in this region. This Eastern Economic Forum was in news recently because Prime Minister Modi was invited as a chief guest in this year's meeting of Eastern Economic Forum. And every year the meeting of this forum is held in the city of Vladivostok in the which lies in the easternmost part of Russia. So if we see the location of Vladivostok in the on the Russian map, you can see that it lies on the easternmost part of Russia. This is Vladivostok. This city is Vladivostok. Wait, yeah. And you can see that. Wait. You can see that Vladivostok lies very close to China, and it is approximately to the northeast of North Korea. This is North Korea, and this is China, and it also lies to the north of Sea of Japan. So this is the Sea of Japan, and Sea of Japan divides the two Koreas, that is North Korea and South Korea, from the country of Japan. And friends, as you all know, Russia is the largest country in the world, and it cuts across two continents. One is Europe, and the second is Asia. So this Eastern Economic Forum, which I earlier mentioned, is a part of Russia's pivot to Asia strategy, which basically involves inviting the Asian countries to invest in this Far East region. Why Russia is showing so much? Why Russia is giving so much importance to this region? It is because this Far East region is very less developed as compared to its Western region, or that part of Russia which lies in Europe. So this is why Russia is giving a lot of importance to this region because one, it wants to make this region at par with its western region, and also this region is a very resource rich region. So uh, so so and and but but the problem is it lacks investment. So this Eastern Economic Forum will invite a lot of investments in this region, and eventually it can help in development of this region. Secondly, after the 2014 Crimea crisis, most of the Western countries, mainly led by the United States, they had imposed sanctions against Russia, and this affected a lot of trade ties between Russia and many European countries. Since then, Russia has been showing a lot of interest in maintaining trade relationship with Asian countries. For example, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, etc., etc. Also, friends, Russia is wary of the fact that China might, in the future, become a dominant player in the Eurasian region. So it wants to make sure that China does not become a hegemon in the Eurasian region, and this is why it is deepening its cooperation with countries like India, Vietnam, Indonesia, because these are the countries with which China has a lot of disputes. For example, India and China have had a long standing dispute pertaining to the boundary. So, and similarly, countries like Vietnam and Philippines have a lot of issues with China, primarily relating to the South China Sea. So this is why Russia is trying to strategically deepen its ties with these countries so that it can counter the interest of China. Uh, Now coming on to how this Eastern Economic Forum can act as a platform for deepening India-Russia cooperation. Friends, the Far East region has potential to become a very important anchor in deepening the ties. More so because India has recently expanded the scope of its Act East policy to include Moscow. This was also mentioned by Prime Minister Modi in his address to this year's Eastern Economic Forum, wherein he mentioned that Moscow will be a part of India's Act East policy, and this will definitely give a boost to Indo-Russian cooperation. Uh, and because the Far East region has followed a very investment friendly approach, plus like I mentioned earlier, it has a vast reserves of natural resources. Therefore there is potential, there is enough potential in this relationship to strengthen economic partnership in areas like energy, agriculture, tourism, alternate energy, etc., etc. Also, friends, another concern of Russia is excessive Chinese migration. So a lot of Chinese nationals have been migrating to the Far East region, and this has become a major concern of Russia. So Russia is now trying to balance it out by ensuring that there is a presence of enough Indian manpower in their Far East region. So and also lack of manpower is one of the main problems that the Far East region of the Russia faces. So Indian professionals like doctors, engineers, teachers can help in this region's development, and also it will help in balancing out Russia's concerns relating to excessive Chinese migration into the region. And uh, friends, the before going on to the next point, which is a very important point, I believe, let me first explain what is para diplomacy. Para diplomacy is nothing but making regional or subnational governments, that is the state governments, prominent actors in the international politics, in the international sphere. So India has been giving a lot of importance to its para diplomacy while engaging with Russia. For example, states like Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, and Goa, they are going to collaborate with some of the Russian provinces to increase investment and trade. One more and last important point for in the under this topic is that Russia and India are also trying to look at the feasibility of an alternative trade route. So let me tell you that the conventional trade route that India and Russia follow is the route through Suez Canal. So if you see Suez Canal on the map, you can see that any trade that is going to take place between Russia and India, it takes place through this conventional route, which involves Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, Suez Canal. Then from Suez Canal we enter into Mediterranean Sea. Then from Mediterranean Sea we enter into the Aegean Sea, and from here we you can see that the agency is directly connected. This is the agency, and it is connected to the Sea of Marmara. This is the Sea of Marmara, which is connected to the Black Sea through the Bosphorus Strait. So this is a very you can see this thin line. This is the Strait of Bosphorus, which basically connects the Black Sea. This is the Black Sea, and this is the Sea of Marmara. So, and from Black Sea, you directly enter into the Russian region. So, adjacent to the left, or to the left of Georgia, this is the Russian region, and this is Ukraine. This is Ukraine. This is Ukraine and this is Russia. So this is the conventional route that we follow. But now, and let me tell you that any trade that takes place through this route, it takes around 40 days for its completion. But now India and Russia are trying to look at the feasibility of an alternate trade route, which basically goes through the state of Malacca. So this is Indonesia and this is Singapore. So this is the state of Malacca. So from here, we from state of Malacca we enter into the South China Sea. From South China Sea we enter into the Sea of Japan through East China Sea. And this is like we saw earlier, this is Russia and here is Vladivostok. And this alternate route that Russia and India are considering, this route takes place, the that any trade between India and Russia through this route will take place, will be completed only in 24 days. So you can see that this is a much better route as compared to the conventional route that we still follow. And also this alternate route would open new opportunities for India, like Indo-Russia Vietnam trilateral cooperation. So this is another benefit that we can gain from making use of this route. Also, friends, now coming on to the conclusion, so you can see that the new United States regime led by Donald Trump, it has been following a new policy of deglobalization. And China and you can also notice that China has been following its own form of globalization, with having its own characteristics, having Chinese characteristics. So it makes sense for India and Russia to increase cooperation and trade. And also enhanced cooperation between these two countries would protect the strategic interests of these two countries, in light of all the disruptive forces that have been recently seen by the world. And this would also make our relationship more sustainable. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. And also please don't forget to share this video and subscribe. Thank you.